Sexual assault and sexual sin brings disgrace. It brings shame. It brings hurt. I've spoken with many women and some men who have undergone incredible amounts of pain because of what has happened to them, because they are a victim of sexual assault or sexual abuse. I've talked to some whose marriages are falling apart, and at the very root of their problems is the fact that they haven't dealt with this issue. I've talked to some men and women who haven't realized how far the extent of the damage and how far it's really gone, and how they're so used to dealing with the shame in their lives, and they're so used to the identity of being shamed and disgraced, and they're so used to feeling dirty from the neck down, and they're so used to this that they don't realize there's something much better for them. And they also don't realize how much damage it has caused, how depressed they are, how anxious they are, how gross they feel. They don't understand that they're not living in a state that is abnormal. And I've watched as we've peeled back the layers and as we have uncovered their past, how their heart is exposed, how their shame is exposed, how the disgrace is exposed. And I've watched how gloriously how the gospel comes in and brings healing where they didn't think healing was possible. Some of you are 50, 60 years old and you're still dealing with the issues. Some of you are in the middle of it right now and you need to get help. Some of you have abused and some of you are abusers. Or some of you have been abused. And you need to hear the power of the gospel and how Jesus addresses those who have been disgraced. You see, sexual assault and sexual sin in our lives and our sexual past outside of marriage brings disgrace. It brings shame. And we're going to unpack that this morning. But Jesus offers grace. That's why as I was thinking through this sermon, I thought about it. Jesus on the cross, His grace, God's grace through the sacrificial death of His Son, through the perfect life of His Son, through the resurrection of His Son, has killed our disgrace. Put it to death. And I think that's a message many of you need to hear this morning.